Howdy, 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 everybody. How you doing? Well, good to see you here. After my last driving video, I guess my phone got hot, and then there was no cell signal. The whole town must not like my carrier because I cannot get a signal solid through the whole town. Yep. That's one thing. Have you ever tried to get cable or any telephone service, and they go in there and they want your social security number, they want your driver's license front and back, they want your firstborn, your arm, your leg. Why do we have to give this to everybody? They want your credit card, they want your security code. What good's a security code if you hand it out everywhere you go? Crazy, folks, what we're going through. I went to that bank this afternoon, and if you watched it, I went to the drive-through teller. It says, no cash accepted, no deposits accepted. So I drove around the building to the front. Whoops, deja vu. What's up with that? Seems to be a lot of cable downtime here. Yesterday, the internet and the cable was terrible. I called the local company here, Spectrum. We've got outages everywhere. We can't even get sales out here. And I thought, oh my goodness, we're in trouble, folks. A media blockout? Is it a blockout planned? What is it? Don't know. But as the song goes, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Nobody ever going to keep me down. I get knocked down. I get up again. Nobody ever going to keep me down. Well, enough of that. Oh, okay. Well, I was watching on my tablet. I think I'll just try to show you. But it's in the Canton district of Baltimore. And they just, well, let me turn it up. Oop. No. Sorry about that, folks. Get the right buttons here. I'm just
A group of protesters chanted "Leave Caroline."
Let's start all over
This
here.
afternoon in Canton, the event was met with protesters and counter-protesters. WJZ's Caroline Forbach was there talking to people on both sides, and she joins us live now from Canton. Caroline. Kelsey, good evening. We saw a divided crowd outside of the event today, some protesting the event while others came out to show their support for the Drag Queen Story Hour. A spokesperson for the library says they do story hours all the time, and this is not the first one to have a drag queen as a guest reader. A group of protesters chanted "Leave our children alone" outside the church on the square in Canton Saturday afternoon, where a drag queen story hour was taking place inside.
The Pratt Library is always supportive of diverse voices, and we always will be.
On the front door,
really says
black. They have
Baltimore's
plain
Enoch
glass.
Pratt Free Library hosted the Drag Queen Story Hour in partnership with the church on the square,
With Black
according to
Lives
library
Matter written on
spokesperson Megan McCorkle. Children of all ages and their caregivers were invited to listen to stories about having pride in yourself. WJZ asked some parents in the audience why they wanted to bring their kids to the story hour.
Me and my son love story time, no matter who's reading. Your kid can learn from anyone.
We wanted to come out here and make sure that we showed a lot of support for our drag queen performer.
A number of people showed support for the event outside as well, singing and waving pride flags. Across the street, protesters told WJZ they disagreed with the library's messaging.
I think it's inappropriate. First of all, we need to at least say that. It's not about being against gays. It's not about being against lesbians or the LGBTQ community. It's about that values for our children.
We trust that families and parents can decide what's appropriate for their children, but we have something for absolutely everyone at the Pratt.
I don't think so.
According to the statement posted on their website, the Pratt Free Library is committed to advancing equity, diversity, and inclusion. For now, reporting live here in Canton, Caroline Forbach, WJZ.
So what do you think?
When weather turns extreme, CBS News and the Weather Channel bringing virtual weather.
That is pathetic. That is pathetic. Sorry. Sorry about that, folks.
That is pathetic.
Up you get on there. Come on.
Sorry about that, folks. That is pathetic.
Come on and chat with me. We can talk through chat. I can answer you through here. But that's going on everywhere. Every town. Here in Orlando. Well, I'm close to Orlando. I'm about 30 miles away now. But it's everywhere. It's sick. Number one, they had kids there. Drag queen in the library. It's a library, aka a church. It was a church. What's happening to our churches? Excuse me, my COPD is acting up. I've been out all day. I took my drive to the bank. And it's getting to me. Let me get my water. Might help. Sorry about that. But folks, who's it up to? It's up to us as individuals like the other side there to stand up against them, to tell them we don't want it. We don't need it. Our children don't need it. They have a hard time learning in schools the 3 R's. They don't learn reading, writing, and arithmetic anymore. They don't learn it. They learn this garbage. This is what they teach in schools. Not an education. It's teaching them a lifestyle that you can depend on the government. It's teaching them that you can be gay. It's teaching them that you can be transvestite. It's teaching you can be anything. And it's so sickening. Sickening, sickening, sickening. And only we, as sane people, can stop it. Have you ever seen a transvestite out in public? Crazy as a loon, most of them. And their funny voices. Crazy as loons. And they want our children to be like that? Well, that's so the government, there'd be more have to listen to the government and what the government says. It's pathetic. Pure pathetic. And the prices in the gas, in the gas, well, yesterday it was $3.09 to $3.11. Sunday. This is Tuesday. I went out today, it's $3.49. One place had $3.49 cash, $3.39 cash, sorry, and $3.49 credit. 10-cent difference for a credit card. And who's going to pay in cash anymore? Nobody carries around the cash. We should start paying in cash to keep this cashless society away. But no, all of us use our credit card, use our phone, and do it the easy way instead of carrying the cash. Besides that, you carry cash, somebody finds out, they're liable to knock you in the head. So we thought the credit card was a good idea, but it's hanging us. We're like the frog in the pot in the cold water, and you turn on the heat, and the heat increases, and the frog won't jump out. He'll just sit there until he boils to death. And that's the way we are. We're sitting in the pot, waiting to get boiled to death. And unless we jump out and take control, we're doomed. Mark my word, we're doomed. And if you believe in the Bible, these are really the last days. Because it can't get much worse. It can get worse. But according to the Bible, when this stuff starts happening, that's when the second coming will be. And all the predictions in the Bible are coming true. All the revelations is showing up. It's showing up. When good will be good, good will be bad, and bad will be good. And what's going on now? Bad's good, and good is bad. We can't go online and tell the truth because we're giving out misinformation. Misinformation everywhere. If we say something, it can be marked as misinformation. What are we going to do? We have to band together and protest and start from the bottom up, from our local government to the top of the government. Well, thank goodness I'm in Polk County. I'm in Sheriff Grady Judd's territory, and you probably heard it. Sheriff Grady Judd, he said in Polk County, if they break into your house, shoot them. Shoot them dead. He don't mess around. He don't mess around. But 30 miles away in Orlando, we have a Democratic. They have a Democratic county mayor and a Democratic city mayor. And at night, Orlando lights up the city in gay colors, gay pride. The whole town lights up in gay colors. And we have the county mayor is Jerry Demings. You probably heard of his wife. His wife used to be sheriff too. Well, he used to be sheriff of Orange County, and he became the mayor of Orange County. His wife was the sheriff after him of Orange County, and now she's in the Congress. And she was on the short list for Joe Biden's vice president. They're running Orange County, Orlando. And she's representing our state. And we have to get rid of her. We have to get rid of her here. We have to start right here locally and get rid of those people. But Orlando is blue. There's a lot of conservatives there, but I think there's more Democrats, more transplants, more people from other states that come in and vote liberal. And it's night and day in different counties in Florida. Around here, I took you the other day, if you watch my drive around, flags everywhere in this county, in this city, in this area. Trucks with flags on the back. I stopped and talked to one, but I passed quite a few as I was driving, and you see them all the time. It's more patriotic here. Everybody flies their flags, and everybody doesn't like the government. But you go into Orlando, it's a totally different story. Oh, there's a lot of conservatives there, but they keep their mouths shut. They don't talk about it. They don't do anything about it. They just live status quo as long as it's quiet in their neighborhood and there's no uprisings or no protests or anything. They're fine with it. Folks, we can't do that. We got to wake up. We got to speak our mind. We got to let everybody know. And when I lived there until recently, I let everybody know I'm a conservative. I love my flag. I love my country. And nobody's going to take it away from me. I dedicated my life to this. I don't care whether anybody subs or whatever, or pays me any money or whatever. I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk. I'm going to spread the word. My life's dedication, the rest of my life, whatever it is to this and to God. I have my other page, Jesus Lives Group. I'm not a churchgoer because I don't believe the Bible tells you there's a church. The church is the body of Christ, which means the people. It's not a structure. And the way churches are now, it's hard to find. I went to a good one Sunday, but there's a couple things that I still disagreed with. He said that you need to go to church because Jesus was there. But the Bible tells us that Jesus is everywhere. Where two or three are gathered together, there I will be also. That's what he says. So you don't need the church, you just need the fellowship. And you can have the fellowship when you're out every day with you and another person talking. It don't matter. Me and you talking right now. This would be church. We're talking about the Lord's things. And we all know when we're doing wrong. And he put the moral conscience in us to know right from wrong. And we have to live by the Ten Commandments. And in the Ten Commandments, you have God, the Bible, you have the Constitution of the United States, and the Ten Commandments. You go by the Constitution, the Bible, and the Ten Commandments, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. No matter what you believe, that's just the way it is. And the country is set up on Judeo-Christian values. All of our Bill of Rights and Constitution was on Judeo-Christian values and the Ten Commandments. So, what does that tell you? And they threw God out of the Democratic Party back in the 90s. They don't mention God in their conventions. And ever since then, they went evil, dark. And nobody says anything else but what the leaders say. They will not stray from it. They won't back away from it. They bind together in their own group. And they will not speak out about anything else. Now there's a couple abstainers here and there, but not like the Republican Party. The Republican Party is every which way. And we need to get people in there to stick together and do like the Democrats, but do it for God. Do it for country. We need that, folks. And we need it bad. I hope you're hitting the like button if you're on. And hit the share button. And let's get this story out. Let's get it out. I know I'm not a great talker, and I'm not a great looker. I need a haircut, or I need to let it grow longer where it'll flip right or whatever. I don't know. Let me know. You can let me know in the comments. I don't care. I don't care whether you tell me I look bad or good, or I need a haircut, or if I don't need a haircut. Just let me know. Haircut or not. Kind of like it, but then I kind of don't like it. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings. Weird how we are. But let me know if you like more of my driving videos or what you want to see. I can go by different things in Florida when I'm driving, point out different things that people don't normally see when they come to Florida. Most times when people come to Florida, they go to Disney World or to go to Universal Studios and what have you. Hi, Faith. How's you and Mags? But they come to Disney World, and Disney about, I'd say 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, they started hiring the Rainbow. And I have friends that were there, they got kicked out because they didn't go along with the Rainbow. And now, I would say at Disney, it's about 80% Rainbow. And they like having these drag queen shows. And they sponsor them. And they talk about this stuff at Disney. And they show it at Disney. And I used to get free passes. I had friends that worked there, and when employees work there, they can get people in. They get 3 people at a time in. So at least once a year, I would go to Disney, me and my wife and my daughter, and we loved it. I mean, it was a fun place to go. But nowadays, they raised the price where even rich people can't afford it. Plus the other stuff that they sponsor and stand up for, and they try to interfere into politics. So I just boycott Disney. I haven't gone in 30 years. And I won't go. I will not give them my money. I live on the same road as Universal. I went there one time. It's about last year. I took my 2 granddaughters. They like to wore me out between the parks. But it was fun. I liked it. I'm doing good. I hope you and Faith, you and Mags are doing good. I saw Mags' videos earlier. If you haven't seen Mags American's video on Joe Biden, it's funny. Great. And if you look on my page, you'll see my playlist. And I have it in different sections. I have the Freedom and the ones that I pick. And you can look down and find other streamers. Check out Mags American. And check out Buffalo 11. They're cleaning my roof, so you might hear some noise. Plus Aruba Dive Girl. She does a traffic thing when she's going to work. She shows the traffic going in and out of Orlando. And she lives about 30 miles from Orlando. Has a good drive every day, morning and afternoon. Tonight at 7, she's going to have a singles chat. It could be for married or singles. Married can give information to the singles, and vice versa. But they're going to chat about dating and what have you. So all the help is needed. Everybody show up. I'm reading the comments. I know. I used to have the Disney book club. I'm not book club, but the video club. I stopped it, especially here recently when it really ramped up. And just before I moved from my granddaughter's house last week, we got a free Aladdin, two Aladdin movies, the old one and the new one. I said, oh, thank you, I'm not going to join Disney movies again. But no, I'm not going to have anything to do with Disney except boycott. And maybe protest if something comes up again. But from what I hear in Orlando, this Sunday at 11, there's going to be a pro-abortion thing, and Aruba Dive Girl, and I'm planning on being there to protest against the abortion. There's no way there should be abortion. In my opinion, abortion is between God, the mother, and the doctor. And it's up to the mother's morals and the doctor's morals if they do it or not. I don't think we need the government to tell us. Well, we need laws protecting people that unfortunately do have abortions. Because I lived in the days when the butchers were everywhere. And girls died. Girls bled to death. I worked in the hospital, my first job, and I saw all kinds of girls come in there bleeding from self-abortions, butcher abortions. and it's sad to watch. And back in my days, they had unwedded mother homes for unwed mothers, just like the insane asylums and the TV hospitals and everything. They were in there, they were mistreated, you name it. And the laws protected against this stuff, which was good, but we carried it too far. The government got their hands on it and took it to the moon, just blew it out of proportion. The federal government should have nothing to do with abortion. It should be up to the states to make laws to protect the ones that unfortunately do get abortions. And that's my opinion of it. You're right, Faith. The old Aladdin was the best. You can't outdo that one. When I was a kid, that movie, that program scared me to death, especially the genie. I don't know why, but now I look at it and laugh and say, why was I so scared? When I was a kid, I used to watch Disney all the time and sing along with M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-U-S-E, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. Yeah, but anyway, bring back old memories. But I've seen a lot in my 73 years. I've seen it go from fantastic patriotism. I've seen bad times corrected. And we've corrected things, but we've made things worse. And I think the worse is more than the better. And we need to correct the bad things that we're doing now to head towards socialism, which will lead to communism. And we can't have that. 60 years ago, a communist defector come to our church, and he told us that this was when I was like 12, 13 years old. He told us in 50 years, communism would be in the United States. They would infiltrate to our children. And I'm thinking to myself, I'd never believe that crap. Well, I didn't believe that stuff, but the other kids did in the colleges and universities. And in the 60s and 70s, they got in big time and started infiltrating. And now it's total socialism. It's total liberalism. You get an argument with a college student now, and these liberals all get out. You can't change their mind. You can't wake them up. They are so woke. They are brainwashed with it. It's bad how things are going now. And somehow or another, we got to get the reins and turn it around. We can pray. God will help us, but we have to do the work ourselves. God will not do the work for us. We have to do it ourselves and do His calling and do what it takes. We can put on the armor, but we have to get out there and do the fight. And I don't mean a bloody fight. I mean the talk, the walk, everything. We need to do our job to get the job done. And if we don't, we're going to lose this country. We're going to be a third world country. Everybody here will be poor. Nobody will have a dime to themselves, and the rich people will just rule over us like the old feudal times, back in the medieval times when the kings and queens ruled the peasants. We'll be back in that system again. And that would be a crying shame, because we have a good country here. We have a beautiful country here. We still have our freedom, but we'll lose it. And we can't lose it. We cannot lose it. Well, I sure miss my lap book, because I cannot see these phones. I cannot see what's going on. And the glasses don't help much either, so my eyes got a lot of mileage on them, but they're still good, thank goodness. But I love hollering freedom for our country. And Saturday I stopped guy that had flags on it. He had an F. Biden flag on it and an American flag on his truck. And I stopped him and told him about I asked him if he went to rallies, and his wife says, and him both said, no, we haven't. I told him about the one in Groveland. So hopefully they'll show up, or they'll tell somebody else and they'll show up. But anybody out there that sees this, just remember, Saturday on the 28th, we're gonna have a flag waving rally in Groveland, Florida. And Groveland's a nice little town, beautiful little town. It's not quite in the center of the state, but it's center over towards the west coast a little bit. And it's nice. It's nice in Groveland. There's two towns together, Groveland and Mascot. You have about 2 miles in between, and you go from Groveland to Mascot to Groveland, or vice versa, whichever way you're going. And the road that goes across the center of the state, 50, runs through both of them. 50 runs from coast to coast through Orlando to Titusville over to Brooksville. And I believe it's Crystal River on the Gulf. I'm not sure. It don't go all the way to the Gulf. But Florida's nice. Florida's beautiful. We have more things here that's natural than a lot of states. And we have a lot of growth here. But you can go, I was showing the guy that I shared this mobile home with, on Interstate 4, under the interstate, they built a cattle path. Back when they built I-4 years and years ago, I think it was before Disney, way before Disney. But they built this cattle path under there because of the cowboys herding the cattle south. The cowboys on the horse, they had the cattle drives, and they drive from up here all the way to South Florida. You go to South Florida, they still have the cattle drives and the cowboys and the horse. They ride the horse. Now, some of them have four-wheelers now, but there's places down there where you can't ride a four-wheeler. So they're on horseback, just like the old cowboys, but nobody sees them. Nobody goes down there. Nobody goes to the center of Florida to see it, but they are there. And in the Everglades, we still have the Seminole Indians living in their reservation, living the old ways in the Everglades. And you don't go out there to them. They'll run you off. But they live their Indian life like they have for centuries. But you'll never see it because you can't get to it. Unless you have an airboat and you get close, so they won't let you come anyway, so. They do have some more commercial Indians that do it on the Alligator Alley. It runs across from Naples to Miami. There are commercial Seminole Indians, and they have their Seminole Indian gambling hotels. Like, I can't, my mind went to Hard Rock. I'm sorry, Hard Rock. They have one in Tampa, Hard Rock. And it's Seminole Indian owned. They sell cigarettes cheap because they don't have to pay the big taxes on it. And it has a big casino there, and that's the only place in Florida you can gamble on the Indian reservation, which that's Indian land right there. And wherever they have it, there's one down close to the Everglades in Miami. But they allow the Indians to have the gambling, which is really fun, really strange, and cheaper cigarettes. Everybody used to go to the when I smoked, I used to go there and get my cartons of cigarettes because they were $10, $20 cheaper. I mean, crazy, the difference. I guess you can go to Cherokee, North Carolina and do the same thing. I did that a couple times. But that's how our government does. They tax us to death. They keep taxing and keep taxing. Higher and higher and higher. And they got a stranglehold on us. Anything they can tax, they're going to tax us on it if we can. And pass 7,000 page Sorry about that. Spraying the windows scared me to death. But they're writing laws with 7,000 pages, and nobody's going to get through it. I mean, it'd take a team of experts to get through everything because of the languages and everything they would use to keep us on the down low where we don't know what's going on. But folks, we got to get a handle on it. We got to stop it. We have to stop this nonsense. The law would only need one page. I mean, what in the world? I mean, with the language and the stipulations and this and that, it's just like, I did not file my taxes in protest during the Obama years. But I filed them, and I didn't know about a 3-year period. If you file your taxes and it's over 3 years old, you don't get your money. It goes to the Federal Reserve. And I don't think many people know that. I don't think too many people know it. And it's not right. If you owe them 7 years ago, guess what? They're going to take it out of you. They're going to take it out of you. I keep getting these little notifications. I don't know. I look like YouTube, but I can't tell. I can't tell. But that's the way we're living, folks. We're living in a nightmare. We don't know what they're taxing us for. We don't know the tax code. We don't. We have to get somebody to do it for us. And we don't know this stuff. And they've got a sledgehammer over us. And we've got to get that sledgehammer away somehow or another. It's crazy what they do to us. It's just like my mom and dad's home. I went through probate and stopped the sale of it. And they sold it to another holding company of their own to go around the law, and finally got eviction notice on me, and I could not do anything about it. The lawyer that I had said his hands were tied. I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but it just stopped. And I didn't have any more money to pay an attorney to get it. So I tried to get rid of all the things that I had over the years, my mom's, my dad's, my brother's, mine, my grandkids, my wife's. Everything was there. I couldn't get rid of it because of COVID. I couldn't sell it because of COVID. And then COVID ended where I could sell it. I couldn't sell it. So I offered it for free. Nobody would come and get it. And I had antiques, you name it. I had all kinds of stuff. And guess what? When they come in and told me to get out, it took every bit of it to the dump that I couldn't get out and store. All those memories and everything to the dump because of the corrupt banks. Something about that property. It was the only one where there's 2 lots together, I think. And the lots jumped up pretty high in price. And they probably tear the house down and build 6 in there. At least 4. And make a ton of money. So I think that's what it was. A money-making deal for them. And I don't know how they scared my attorney off. He wouldn't tell me. He just said, I'm done. I can't do anything. I called a couple more, and they wanted anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to continue it, and that would be just a down payment. I said, no way can I afford it. That's why I hate what's going on, because they allow this to go on. They allow people to be stomped on. They just want to get everybody, and they want everybody under their thumb. It's just like I was saying before, you go and get utilities, you go and get cable. They want your driver's license, they want your social security number, they want everything. They want your security code on your credit card everywhere you go. That's supposed to be a security code, not for everybody to know. They shouldn't need that. So everybody in the world, if they get hacked, They're going to have everybody's information right there, everything they would need to clean you out. Is that what's planned? They're going to clean everybody out at one time? Who knows? But I'm afraid. I am terribly afraid. And if you don't give it to them, you don't get what you're getting. It's really sad. I cannot believe it. And it's just like, I told them, I prefer not to give this information. It's crazy. It's crazy what they do to us. They have us over a barrel. If they want to, they can shut us down right now. Shut everybody down just because they have all of our information. They have it out there. It's theirs for the taking. But we keep going and going and going like nothing's going on. Folks, it's going to get bad. The Bible says there'll be tribulation. It's coming. It's here. We're going to have it soon. If not already, we're under tribulation. It's here. So we need to pray. God helps us through it. And pray and be ready for God to wipe out this wickedness. We need to be ready, either way, by faith and stop the government. Plain and simple, that's all we can do. Shout it from the highest mountains, tallest buildings. And get out there and wave the flags and tell everybody, let them know what's going on. Hand out our Bill of Rights and Constitution booklets. And get out there and let it be known that we're not going to take it no more. And hopefully everybody will join in and stop it before it's too late. If it's not too late. I heard somebody the other day, a live streamer, saying, I don't think we can stop it. Well, she may be right, but I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying we can take them. We can do it. But it's going to take every blooming one of us. Everybody. Everybody got to do their thing. No matter how small, whether it's sitting behind a computer, whether it's calling our legislators and tell them, hey, you work for us. Better start doing what we say, or you're not going to be there. And stand by it and do it. Watch our polls. Get our states to go to a form where they can't cheat. And they can do it. But we need to start at home and tell them, each state, change the laws where they can't cheat. And we can do it. Even electronically, we can do things that can't cheat. In Orlando, when I was a poll worker, I was the oath person. I checked for people that didn't have a voter's registration and everything. Checked to see if they was eligible. Did the provisional ballots and all that. We never hooked up to a line until the end of the day, and went to the one number dedicated to the server and sent it to the ballot counters. It told us right there how many votes we had, who we had votes for, and everything, where you put it on the door and everybody could come by the door and see who won in that particular precinct. Plain and simple. No cheating about it. No communication. We couldn't even leave the place. We couldn't use our phone. So, that's the way it should be. We couldn't tell somebody, you need to vote for this or that. And we did it under patriotism and respect. We didn't do it because, somebody was watching us, but we have poll watchers not supposed to watch that. But do they watch it? I don't think so. I don't think there's too many poll watchers watching. I think it's all a farce. They probably just put people in there to make it look like they're doing it. I don't know. Because they're sure getting away with it. Nobody's seeing. Nobody's knowing. They just don't understand how they... I understand how they're getting away with it and how they're doing it. I know exactly how they're doing it. But we got to stop it somehow, and it's up to our states to stop it. Federal government ain't going to stop it because they want it status quo. They love it. They can put whoever they want to. And probably state level too. I imagine it's everywhere. The corruption is everywhere. So we have to change it somehow to where we get rid of the corrupt people. If they don't want to change the laws, we got to get rid of them. You have to vote them out. If it's possible anymore. But we have to try. We need to do our part, every one of us. Like I say, everybody can do a little thing here and there. And every little bit counts. But we have to do it in large numbers. We need live streamers. We need live streamers everywhere, video and everything. Video proof. It doesn't always help, as we see for the J6ers. But if enough people's out there watching, it will help. It will change their tune. A lot of these drag queen shows, because numbers showed up, they quit allowing kids and they went to 18 and older. The ones where there's more people showing up for their side, they don't stop it. So we need to outnumber their numbers. We need to get out there, every one of them. Every one of them that we can. Ah! Almost come in the window. I'm sorry. Woo. My printer's there. Don't do that. Got up under the windows. Ain't no good. Didn't all come out of there. You got to do some more. Okay, well, folks, this is going on. I know it's probably irritating. It's probably really noisy. It picks up everything. So I'll tell you adios for now. And hopefully I get through this. But anyway, like, subscribe, share it everywhere. Whatever you think about it, share it anyway. I don't care if you like it or don't like it. I don't care whether you're a troll or what. Share it anyway. Might get a good laugh. Got a leaky window there when it sprays up at it. It comes under and sprays around, and I got my printer and everything sitting over there. Ay. It's like a roll-out window, so it comes, it goes out. It goes out, so yeah, it comes up under it. Yeah. Okay, well, till the next time, God bless America. God bless our troops. God bless you. I love each and every one of you. And remember, get out there and fight before it's too late. God bless everybody.